All right, so we have made it to the 8th A's World Series title. This time in 1974, they won their third consecutive title, and over the Los Angeles Dodgers this time. And it's interesting because this is actually the first World Series between two West Coast baseball clubs. The A's played the Dodgers in a really interesting World Series. It only went to 5 games, and the A's won the series 4-1. And actually, the A's were kind of the underdog because the Dodgers had won 102 games in the regular season opposed to the A's 90. I mean, the A's were still a good team, of course, but, there were doubts about whether they could win it because they're playing a really good Dodgers team. Raleigh Fingers won the World Series MVP in this. He was very well deserving of that. Great pitcher. And he actually won Game 1 for the A's in a pretty close game. It was 3-2 final in favor of the A's. A game that kind of went back and forth. And, it was at Dodger Stadium. The first run came in the second inning, and the A's actually took a 2-0 lead after the 5th inning, but Dodgers scored in the home half of the 5th, and the A's took a 3-1 lead in the 8th, but the Dodgers fought back, and in the bottom of the 9th scored a run. And they actually had 11 hits in this game opposed to the A's 6, so the A's had to overcome that. And Reggie Jackson got a homer in this game, which was really good. Bert Campaneris got on base a couple times, which was good, and he got an RBI as well. And the A's just played pretty good in terms of, getting on base, making RBI opportunities, and having good pitching. Jim Wynn for the Dodgers got a 2-out RBI, though, which helped them. They got a homer from Jim Wynn as well. And, they got on base a lot, 11 hits. Ken Holtzman was the starting pitcher for the A's, and he was the starting pitcher of Game 1 for 3 World Series in a row. Great pitcher, though, and he went 4.1 innings, only allowing one run before the bullpen came in. The great pitching tandem of Raleigh Fingers and Catfish Hunter kind of shut the Dodgers down and won Game 1. Game 2, the Dodgers took their only win of this series with a 3-2 victory over the A's. And another interesting thing about this World Series is 4 out of the 5 games ended in a 3-2 score, which is kind of strange. Game 1, 3-2. Game 2, 3-2 in favor of the Dodgers, and you'll see later on there'd be more 3-2. So a close series for sure, but I mean it was 4-1 final in terms of games. Game 2, the Dodgers won. The A's, were really dormant in terms of hits mostly the whole game until the 9th. They had 2 runs. Dodgers had a run in the 2nd and a run in the 2 runs in the 6th, which got them their 3 runs. Bert Campaneris hit well. Reggie Jackson played well, but the A's just couldn't, get on the scoreboard early on. Reggie Jackson had 2 hits, and he was obviously coming off World Series MVP the previous season. The Dodgers, had a pretty good game. Steve Garvey, first baseman, got 2 hits in this game. In terms of pitching, Vida Blue was the losing pitcher for the A's. They only used 2 pitchers. Blue Moon Odom came in for relief. And the Dodgers had Don Sutton pitch, who's obviously a really good pitcher, Hall of Famer. The A's went on to lose this game, but they still played pretty good in the later innings. I mean, that was something to be optimistic about. Now, Game 3, the A's won it by a final score of, can you guess, 3-2 over the Dodgers in Oakland. So the series shifts over to Oakland. This game was good because the A's scored the first 3 runs. They're up 3-0, but the Dodgers rally and get 2 runs in the 8th and 9th innings. Catfish Hunter got the win for the A's. And the A's only had to use 2 pitchers. Catfish Hunter pitched amazing. He pitched 7 innings and only allowed 5 hits and a 1 earned run. Raleigh Fingers was the relief pitcher, and he got the final outs. And obviously he went on to win the World Series MVP. So we all know he pitched very well in this series. Al Downing pitched for the Dodgers, and he didn't do super well, allowing a lot of runs. So the A's took it, and they were up in the series 2-1, and they went 3-1 with a victory over the Dodgers in Game 4. This is the only game in the series that wasn't a 3-2 final score. This one was a 5-2 final score in favor of the A's in Oakland. This game was interesting because the A's scored 1 in the 3rd. Ken Holtzman pitched again. I feel like whenever Ken Holtzman pitches, it's a good game. So the A's scored 1 in the 3rd. The Dodgers countered that with 2 runs in the 4th. And the A's knew they had to come back. They scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning to get a 5-2 lead and eventually go on to win. In this game, the Dodgers had a pretty good game from Bill Buckner. He had a double. Bill Russell, not to be confused with the basketball Bill Russell, he got a triple, which, got some runs for them. But the A's, just overall did good in this game. Ken Holtzman was a actually, like, for a pitcher, a good hitter. He, in the last World Series, got hits. He had a homer in this game, Ken Holtzman, and he, was the winning pitcher as well. It's crazy. And Raleigh Fingers got the save, the future World Series MVP of this series. In Game 5, final score 3-2. The A's get the 3-2 victory over the Dodgers and clinch their third consecutive World Series title of the 70s. That is just crazy that they won, this, and this all in a row. And a 3-2 victory over the Dodgers. A pretty good game because it was tied up going into later innings. The A's scored the first 2 runs in this game, in the first and the second inning, and the Dodgers tied it up in the 6th inning with 2 runs. But the A's in the 7th inning got a run, which put them up 3-2, and then Raleigh Fingers' amazing pitching allowed them to win it by a final score of 3-2. In this game, Bill Buckner did good again for the Dodgers. Steve Garvey got a hit and an RBI, and Tom Patrick got a double in this game. Their hitting was good, but the Dodgers left a lot of guys on base. And also Ray Fosse, he got a home run off Don Sutton in this game. And we all know Ray Fosse, absolute legend. And Sal Bando got RBIs in this game. So did Joe Rudy. And it was good defense of the A's too. Campanera's getting outs and whatnot. Vida Blue was the starting pitcher. He went 6.2 innings, allowing 4 hits and 2 earned runs. Blue Moon Odom was actually credited with the win, despite only facing a couple of batters, but he did pitch pretty well. Raleigh Fingers got the save, his 3rd save, and really, really good performance from him. The A's, just definitely were a dynasty. I think that's a term that's thrown around loosely, dynasty. This team's a dynasty, but I think the A's truly were. I think they're winning 3 World Series in a row. They're still fairly new in this new city of Oakland as a sports town, and amazing World Series, 3 in a row, and they beat the Dodgers in what would be the first West Coast World Series matchup ever. We all know there'd be a couple of those in the 80s, and this was the 8th of the 9th A's World Series wins, and the 9th one was obviously great, and we'll move on to that next. But yeah, really good. I think, for the A's, they had to overcome a lot in this season. They defeated the Baltimore Orioles in the ALCS. They were a good team. The Dodgers beat the Pirates in the NLCS. And I think, the A's were just overall a really, really good team that deserved a lot of respect. And they were kind of the underdog in this series, despite, winning the World Series in 5 games, which isn't, that's a pretty big margin of victory, 4-1. But they lost. They didn't win as many games as the Dodgers. They didn't win 102 games, and the Dodgers did, which, was definitely gave them an edge. And I think the A's proved that they were a really clutch team with the likes of Reggie Jackson and Campaneras and Joe Rudy and Ray Fosse and all these guys that were really good hitters that, could all contribute to the team. So, yeah, that's 1974. We're going to move on, and thank you guys for watching. The A's of the 70s World Series are complete. And peace out. Thank you for watching.